It's actually Friday the 13th. I didn't even notice. Hey people, how are you all doing tonight? Are you ready for some more HAHA? I am. Let's wait for some people to come in. We're still in the pre-stream, starting 15 minutes early this time again, like it used to. And let's select a drink, because I'm really thirsty for some reason. Since we're doing HAHA again and not like LEDs, we have some non-Coke variants again. We have some peach zero sugar, some green tea zero sugar. I love this stuff. I get it in big cartons. And then the cherry Coke. And I'm going for the cherry Coke because I had a meal with a lot of grease. So I like some Coke here. You're ready for some magic ho-ho as well? Magic smoke. Nice. Just checking if everything's working. Seems to be. Maybe I'm overloading my video card encoders. Let's check. No, we're at 49% of video encode. That's not too bad. Let's do a Quinboxed. No, we already had 2 in a row. Or, well, 2 and a live stream, but, you know. I do try to keep those separated, because they're officially meant as filler content, but, you know. Okay, thanks, Philip. I'm always a bit conscious that the music might be too loud, so, yeah. I want to know what you got. Well, there's a package table that's almost full. Well, it's not full, but filling up again, so I think I have enough to do another one, but next week I want to do a certain video, which will be very nice, about LEDs. And then maybe after that, we'll see. $24.10. Oh, you're playing with wave sensors. Ooh. I don't think we'll get some smoke today. No, we'll do some smoky streams in the future again. Johnny Bergdahl needs to go solar in 5 minutes. Oh, what are you building, Johnny? Slam the like button. Wait, now that we're here, let's scroll up a bit. Victor Multanen actually already donated before the show started. That's the first. Thank you very much for the $3 there, Victor. That's very much appreciated. Are you still here? I mean, solar smoke doesn't count. Aw. I had blown up USB port smoke like 2 weeks ago. An hour before, yeah. It's appreciated, but I just know, I just see it when I start the stream, so. He's not here anymore. Ah, that's sad. Patrick Reinhardt, good evening. It's a bit cold in the garage today. There's a lot of wind outside, so I'm actually wearing a jacket. How do you like that? Oh, Resin Chemtech is here. Nice. You've been doing a lot of videos there, Resin. I catch some of them sometimes. It's nice. Turn on a server. Well, we'll do that in a minute, but they're very low power, Philip. That's not going to help much. I think the screen I have here on my right, that is a Dell U2410, I believe. Let me look that up if that's correct. Dell U2410. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, 1920 by 1200. Let's see. It's so old that I think it still has like CCFL backlighting. Do they have a spec sheet? But I think that alone uses more power than all of the servers combined. Setup diagram. No, I want to know wattage. Power consumption of a U2410. Yes. Idle power consumption of a U2410 is 75 watts. And maximum power consumption is 132 watts. So I think just that single screen is using an average about 100 watts. That is more than all of the cluster combined. Oh man, old screens. Oh, welcome, Yako. Need to finish an invitation card. Oh. I have more hardware, I guess, I could use, but it's okay. Scarlax is here, and Savag is here. Nice. That's a lot of familiar names. Oh, Dave Odessa. That's a lot of familiar names. Cool. Mark Hagen and Rob Kien. Nice jacket. Thank you. Rob Starkey. Looks like people are coming in. That's good. What are we all drinking? Are we? Tell me what drinks you have. Because I always... Oh, I don't know. I say this for Quinbox, not so much live streams, that you need to prepare a drink. But still, what are you drinking? How is your weekend going so far? Because... well, over here it's Friday evening. I don't know what time it is over there, but, you know, I have a fun weekend planned, so. Rivella Framboos. Oh, that's, I think, is that a very Dutch drink? Do they have Rivella, like, outside of the Netherlands? I don't actually know. You can get the jacket from AliExpress. No, actually, Philip. It's from a Dutch store called the Kranenbroek. And they mostly sell... work clothing and stuff like that. So I believe it's from the Nielsen brand. No, it might actually be... Oh no, this is from Cratax. That's like a work brand clothing thing. So... Mark doesn't have a drink. One moment. Oh, Savag is drinking Coke. Okay. .0 Laft Rottenbier. Okay. Scarlex is going full Jägermeister there. And gluten-free Peroni beer? What the hell is that? Oh, you got non-AliExpress stuff? Don't worry. My footwear, my footwear from AliExpress that I'm wearing is very nice and warm, so... The same beer I started 2 hours ago. Oh, that's taking a long while there. I feel like I need to scoot over just a little bit. There we go. Coconut water. Is that better than regular water? You have those slippers, Rob. Nice. I still like them a lot. And the other pair I showed off... I think they're in a Queen box or something. I still wear too. I like them. My main shoes are from AliExpress too. Yeah. Coffee for me. Lavazza. Ooh. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol. I'm very boring. I drink weird variants of Coke. Are you going to use VMs or LXDS? Or I think they're LXC, but we're going to be using VMs. And tonight we're going to be building the storage, setting up the replication, and then building a random Ubuntu VM or something like that. And we're going to replicate that over, see how that works. And we're going to fail it over by just pulling the plug in one of them and see how that works. And then, so we're also setting up HA. And then we'll see what time it is and if we get to installing maybe a Home Assistant installation. You have to consider giving up Coke? Oh, I wouldn't like that. Water here, but because I'm at work, wasting the late few hours of my day. Well, thank you for watching me at work. I'm sure your boss will appreciate it. You can bill it as like educational hours, because I will try and teach you something. Why Ubuntu and not HA directly? I think it's more fun to take a look at the HA functionality first and doing it with a simple VM and a simple test. And after that, we can move to Home Assistant, because it's not, you know, I try to explain how everything works and why it's working next to just, look, Home Assistant is failing over. There, we're done. So I think it's a good part in the journey. Suspected diabetes. Yeah, but that's why you get the zero sugar here. Come on, you can do it, camera. No? Yes. Zero sugar. Because I am diabetic too. So the biggest change for one day diagnosed me with diabetics, and you have this value that needs to be between like 5 and 7 or something like that, and mine was like 35. The biggest change I was able to do is change the drinks to drinks without sugar. And that made a very big difference. Yeah, okay, LXD uses LXC. Yeah, right. But yeah, I want to keep the HAS OS experience with the supervisor and the Docker containers, etc. intact. So that's why I'm not going with any Docker or Kubernetes or whatever setup, and we're using VMs. Yes, zero sugar, high on aspartame. Yeah, that's the consequence. Well, it's supposed to be a lot worse, except if you're diabetic and you die from sugar. I mean, yeah. And if it's so bad, 100 million people wouldn't be drinking it, I think. I mean, yeah. It could still be not great, but, you know. Yesterday, I built my Proxmox with HA. I get the guide from last stream. Nice, Savak. Cool. I think I experienced a spelling disorder today. What? Oh, Dutch Towers is here. Is so responsive. Yeah, it's pretty good. Looks like we're not getting a lot of people today. YouTube says it's a great time for an ad again. I still disagree. Oh, MSX Droid is here. Good evening. Officially still pre-stream. True. From personal experience, my teeth and my pocket prefer aspartame instead of sugar. Yeah. Just run the ad. Be over with it. No. You don't understand. 10 to 15 minutes later, YouTube will tell you again, now would be a great time for an ad. And it'll keep telling you that all the way through your stream. Doesn't matter if you run ads or not. Still used to Vanced? What's the Vanced? Ad, promote your store. I could promote AllNet and Dr. Z's. If you're looking for a digital LED controller like a Quinn LED, take a look at the AllNet China store or Dr. Z's. Something like that. I hate ads and refuse to have them. Or are you paying for Google Premium? I have Google. I have YouTube Premium. I haven't seen ad in years, or in a year at least. YouTube Advanced. Oh, okay. No, I just pay for, I either watch the ads or because I get free videos, or I pay for them. And, I mean, if we'd all block ads and still try to watch free videos, the service would just end at some point. So, nothing is free. Even if they call it free, it's free because of the ads. And if you then don't watch the ads, it'll soon stop being free. So, yeah. YouTube Premium is one of the best things I've ever done. Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube, so, I mean, it's fine. You get five members, I believe, you can have in the YouTube family. So, my girlfriend is in there, my father is in there, and, yeah, I just spread around the accounts to people I know watch a lot of YouTube. What do you mean YouTube Premium is a con? What then? So you block ads, and you want to watch free videos, but then who's paying for the video and the hosting, and those ads drove me insane. Oh, I get that. I mean, yeah. Adam Bryant, I have a simple challenge I'm trying to get people to join in with. The challenge is to blink a single LED and make a YouTube short out of it. And then the idea is to make it as creative as possible, or... Yeah, I get more money from Premium than from people who watch ads, and certainly more money than people who block the ads, because then I get nothing. YouTube gets nothing, and at some point YouTube will cease to exist. Yeah, Premium is fine for the creators. YouTube pays for the video? What do you mean, Adam? I have lots of LEDs I can blink here. I mean, if YouTube will pay for every single one, I'm rich. I can pull open a drawer with 1,000 LEDs I can blink one at a time, and then I'll get all the monies. How you blink a LED is up to you, as long as the camera sees the blink on and off. Okay, and there's just one LED allowed, or? Yeah, Rob, that is the downside of having free videos. They cost money, so you watch the ad. Or you can pay for premium, but that's fine. Google has slightly more money than I have, so they should pay up. That might actually not be the case in regards to YouTube, because YouTube isn't that profitable for them. And if it remains barely or not profitable at all, YouTube is very known to axe projects. So I don't think they'll do it quickly with YouTube, but... no, Arnold, if you don't see the ad, you don't pay. They don't get paid. Just one LED so that even beginners and noobs can join in. Cool. Cool. Okay. D. Bishops says, just ordered a Dig Uno for the first time, DIY LED lighting. I'm scared that it's not the last one. We all have this issue. You're still not over Google Reader being axed. Yeah, it probably wasn't making them any money, and they're a public company, so they have to make money. It's obligated by law. So, I mean... Why isn't there a way to run ads, just block them from viewing, but still count as a ran ad? Because then somebody's paying for people to watch ads and they're not watching them, so I'm not sure what you expect here. We all started as noobs here, and now we advanced to 2 LEDs blinking. Wow. I have 288, no wait, 289, 290 LEDs on my back wall there, because the controller has 2 LEDs, so those aren't blinking, but yeah. Sure, Ronnie, of course they do. But then, I mean, if they then don't serve ads anymore, what use is the profiling data to what person should see what ad? So, it's still about the ads. And I don't mean that you have to watch every ad, and I run ad blockers on annoying websites. But other websites I use a lot, I turn my ad blocker off. But if I can then pay for a service I use a lot, like, you know, YouTube Premium, I do. That's fine. So it turns out that shorting 5V and ground makes the computer shut down the USB port. Oops. Yes. How much current for the LEDs? You mean this one? These? I don't know. Like 10 watts? 15 watts maybe? No, it's turned down pretty low, so not a lot. I blew up some USB ports like 2 weeks ago. There was bad smell and everything, so yeah. Those won't work anymore. Is it safe to run my 4x16 by 6 panels on a single channel on a Dig Uno? It's safe, yes. It'll run, but if my memory serves right, that's 256 LEDs times 4 Savog, so that's 1024 LEDs. So you'll get about 30 FPS, maybe max, maybe a little bit lower, like 25. And if you want to keep it at 42, you'd have to split it over at least 2 data channels. Yeah, but they can only make money selling profile data for ads if they sell the ads. If nobody's going to buy ads anymore because they're going to get blocked anyway. Yeah. Oh, right. I removed my trash can. Okay. Well, let me get my mouse because we're in the stream right now. Let me prepare a little browser here. Okay. Bookmarks, turn this off. Right, we'll go here. Okay, so let's go to the Chrome scene and see if we can get the browser up there. Yes, we can. That's a little bit too wide. Let me fix that. It's a little bit too high. There. So, we're on my website right now. Oh, wait, there's another thing I want to show you. So, last week we built all of the stuff on my desk, but it was a lot of stuff. I was kind of in the way. So, I consolidated the cluster. So we now have a single box. So it's a little box. It's not that big, right? It's a box. And the box has a fully functional The box has a lot of crap from the ground on it. But the box has a fully functional HA cluster inside. So this is now my HA cluster box. Oh, I think I actually forgot to set OBS to the right color space. Uh-oh. No, it's limited. Okay, good. So there is the 3 servers inside. The 2 with the fans are on the bottom, and then this one's on top because it's passively cooled. I can still reach the buttons. And we have a power cord here. So we're going to plug that in. Oh. Okay. And then we have the switch over here. And we're going to uplink that. Okay, right? We have the 3 power adapters. It's a bit dark, you can't really see, but and then we have the power, the extension cord there. So let's turn this on. That should turn on the switch. Or not? Did I turn this off? Yes, I did. Okay, power adapters. Okay, so 2 actually have Wake on LAN, and the third one does too. Okay, and then we have an uplink, and let's turn on the machines. Can reach the button. The button is a bit recessed. Don't know where to push on the chassis. Okay, so I can turn this one on. Hold on, I need a different angle. There we go. So now you can also see the blue LEDs there. Doesn't make a lot of noise. It's currently using 46 watts. So everything's booting. Let's wait for the last network link to turn on. There we go. HA in a box, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think it'll work if they're all passive, because the lower 2 are fan cooled. I think it's okay. Okay, so power usage has dropped to 25 watts, and I believe that means that everything's booted now. So yeah, this is my HA box. It's not big. Look, I'm floating a cluster. Okay, let's push this over here. So I can get my keyboard and mouse, and let's go here. There we go. And let's see if we can actually reach the machine. So I believe this is the IP for node 1. So 192.168.800.11. That's the first node in the cluster. That's this guy here on top. And let's see if we can... Oh, we have a Proxmox. We do a root with our amazing password. There we go. Nice. And we can see our cluster is online. We have 3 nodes. Everything's running. I don't have a subscription, that's true. Oh, we can look into that. We didn't update Proxmox last time. Let's do that this time. Okay, we have 2 minutes uptime. That's not a lot. Turning down the music a little bit. And, well, this is our N6005, so that's node 1. Here we have the i5 10210U, and this one is also, yeah, okay. Cool, so our cluster booted. It's already, that box will be a prime candidate to be powered by Project Quinled to make it truly portable. You want a portable HA cluster? I don't know about that, but... we'll see. So last time we skipped a step, and that is actually updating Proxmox. So let's do that this time. And there's 2 steps we need to do for that. First, we need to enable the community repository, or the no subscription repository. And then after that, we can update. So let's go to node 1 over here. And then we go to repositories. And then we see that, which ones are here? Yeah, we have the enterprise repository that is enabled, but we're not paying for a, let me move this over. We're not paying for a subscription. So we actually need to disable that if we can. we can't. Well, let's try and add the... Yeah, I know I don't have a subscription. You get this pop-up sometimes. Let's add the no subscription repository. Add. And can we then remove... Okay, we can disable the enterprise repository. And that's it. Let's reload that. Okay, and now we can get Proxmox VE updates. So let me quickly do that for the other nodes too. So let's add the no subscription and let's disable the enterprise. Add the no subscription. Sorry. And disable the enterprise. Good. Now we can go to updates. And we can hit refresh. Oh man. Okay. And it's going to check packages and things like that. Okay. And it'll show you which packages can be upgraded. So let's just hit upgrade. And it'll give us a pop-up. Oh, we can't see the pop-up. Sorry. There we go. You get to see a pop-up, and in there you just hit yes, and it'll start processing the update. Let's take a look at this one, and then we'll do the other ones at the same time. Can you not do that for the whole cluster just once? I don't actually know. So let's go back to the other screen. This is just going to display this information and then disappear because it'll reboot. We'll check it out in a minute. Let's wait for this to finish. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you have to do it on all nodes too, because often you don't want to update all nodes at the same time, because you want to update one node, have it reboot, then move some machines there, and then do the other node and so on. Well, we'll check it if there's a GUI item for it. Yeah, Jaco, if you make an Ansible playbook, you can automate that it also moves the VMs and stuff like that. Okay, so now it's done, and it says, please consider rebooting this node to activate the new kernel. And we're just going to hit reboot. Since we're in a root shell, that should work. There, disconnect it. And, well, node 3 should now reboot. So let's go back to node, or well, the other nodes. There, node 3 is down. So let's do the same thing. Oh no, wait. We're going to check if there was an update thingy in here. Cluster. I don't think there's a central update thing. So we're just going to do it per node. Okay, refresh. And upgrade. Yes. So I get that pop-up again, but I won't show you guys. And let's do it with the other node too. Refresh. So this is node 1, the slowest one. Okay. Upgrade. And yes. What an amazing coincidence. They all need to download the same amount. Okay, so now I have 2 pop-ups that are doing the upgrades. And once they're done, I'll hit reboot, and then we should get a completely updated cluster. And normally, if you have stuff running on it, you'll move VMs from one node to the other node, then update that empty node, reboot it, then move the VMs back, and then update the other node, and then so forth, and then you can update the cluster without it going down, basically. Timbo is here. Hope you are well. Happy 2023. Same to you, Timbo. I'm doing fine. Yeah, Ryan Turner, this is Project HA, so Highly Available Home Assistant, or Home Assistant Highly Available. Basically, we're building a Proxmox cluster, and we're going to run Home Assistant on that, so that if one of our machines gets a hardware failure or breakdown or whatever, at least our Home Assistant will keep running. Okay, one of those nodes is done, so node 2 gets a reboot. Sure. So just waiting. Okay, node 1 is done. Oh, node 1 and node 2 actually were pretty much the same speed, while node 2 is certainly about twice as fast. Okay, yeah. So now our interface might disappear because I just rebooted node 1. And we're connected to 11. You can connect the GUI to any of the 3 nodes in the cluster, so 11, 12, and 13. But since we're on 11, we might lose connection momentarily. Johnny Bergdahl, oh my god, my millimeter wave sensor actually works, even though the official ESP home support hasn't been released yet. Ooh. Yeah, Timbo, I don't actually use Zigbee or anything like that, so currently I don't know. Dutch Maker is here. Project Energy will need to reserve some capacity to act like a UPS for the HA cluster. Actually, so in Project Energy, there will be a video about this soon, but I will have my normal house power, and I will have emergency power for when the grid goes down. And I've decided not to connect the house to the emergency power, although I could, because then they'd be, you know, reliant on the Project Energy power. But I will have some emergency power sockets, which I could plug in one of the cluster nodes, so that if the rest goes down, at least that one still survives. That's actually a good one. Yeah, I think I'll run 1 or 2 nodes on the emergency power, so that even if everything else goes down, my Home Assistant will still be running. The rest of the house will be dark, but who cares? Oh, you don't watch it for a little while, and our nodes are back. Cool. So let's check here in summary. And we're running kernel version 5.15831. Yeah, and that is now the same on all of the nodes, so we're good. Cool. Okay. Where we left off last time is that we needed to configure storage that we wanted to share or have available all around the cluster. Now, all of these 3 machines have a 1 terabyte NVMe drive that they boot off of, and a 2 terabyte SATA SSD. And you could like, SATA is slow and this and that. Sure, but we only have a 1 gigabit interface anyway. So generally, I'd say for running a few VMs, SATA is going to be fine. But you could do it on NVMe too, that doesn't matter. Right now we're going to focus on configuring that SATA drive as our replicated storage drive, and since we have 3 times 2 terabyte, so 1 in each node. And to do that, we first need to configure all the drives locally. So we go to our node 1 over here, and then we go to, I think we go to disks. No, we go to, oh, now I don't remember. Do we want to create? Yeah. So we go to ZFS, because we want to create a ZFS volume. And we say create ZFS, and we're going to call this, I don't know, 2TB REPL for 2 terabyte. No, I can't stand it if this is wrong. Let's see if it takes capital letters. 2 terabyte REPL, so 2 terabyte replication. It's a single disk. We want compression, and A shift 12 is fine. We have a single disk available, so that's dev SDA. That's our 2 terabyte NV or SATA SSD. So we select that, and we cannot hit create. Why not? Probably because it doesn't like the name. Doesn't know. Okay, maybe it doesn't like the hyphen. What? Oh, I'm not allowed to have a number. Okay. No, then we're just going to call it SATA REPL for SATA replication. So single disk compression is on, A shift 12, and we just select this 2 terabyte SSD. And I'm going to copy the name because we're going to need that 2 times more, right? So let's create that. Okay, and now on node 1, we have the SATA REPL. So we go to node 2, we hit create ZFS, and we just do exactly the same. Create. And we go to node 3, create ZFS, and we have another 2 terabyte SSD there. 2 terabyte SSDs have become cheap. You can get them for like $100 now or something. I think you can do it on command line, because I'm pretty sure I have data sets or Z pools with numbers in them for sure. But I think it might be a Proxmox GUI limitation. So now we have a SATA REPL on each of the nodes. Okay, so now we have storage that is available under the same name, that's important, on all of the nodes. Okay. Next step we're going to do is let's build a VM and run that VM and then set up the replication. Windows Defender, I don't care right now, I'm streaming. What? Do you get random Windows Defender pop-ups too? I don't know. I don't know, MSX I'm used to be able to do that. So let's install a Ubuntu server, very simple first. And to do that, we're going to need a ISO image of that Ubuntu server. So you go to one of your nodes. In this case, we'll use node 2. And let's go to the local. And here we have a local storage. Because storage have certain definitions of what type of things they can contain. And here are local storage, which is only 100 gigabytes, but that's fine. Can contain ISO images. So I already downloaded that, so let me select that file real quick. And here we have Ubuntu 22.10 live server, 1.53 gigabyte. For some reason they killed the net install ISO. It's very odd. Anyway, let's upload that to the node. No Windows Defender notification in Mac. Okay, I'll drink to that. Yeah, let's go for the green. The green no sugar. There, 0 sugar. Nice. Okay, it uploaded the image, and now I think it's moving it. It's done doing that. Oh wait, I should have zoomed in my view more, right? So now we have a Ubuntu ISO image, so we can install create a VM. To create a VM, that's pretty easy. At the top here, you have a blue button called Create VM. Well, let's do that. We're going to create the VM on node 2, because that's where our ISO image is right now. We could upload it to all the nodes, but currently we're not going to do that. And we're going to call this test VM. I don't know. And the storage is local, and we were going to use the ISO image we just uploaded. Big surprise there. And we're installing Linux and the 5.x 2.6 kernel, whatever. That's fine. And, sorry, my nose is starting to bother me for some reason. We can leave this all to default. I guess we could go to Q35, but for now we're going to just leave it all default. That's fine. We have a single SCSI disk inside of the VM. Let's make that 32 gigabytes. That's fine. And since this is on an SSD, we want to turn on this discard option. Because then if blocks get removed and changed and stuff like that, it'll do so and send it to the SSD controller. Yeah, we're not going to enable QEMU agent right now, but we will do so on the final Home Assistant VM, because I believe it has a QEMU agent installed. But the one we're going to build or install right now won't have it. If you can run with it, that's always better. So, yeah. Let's go next. Let's give it, I don't know, 2 cores. That's fine. I don't care about the processor type. 2 gigabytes of memory is fine with me. We're going to add it to our default network bridge. Fine. And para-virtualize is perfect. Finish. So Mark confirms that HA indeed has the QEMU agent. Yeah, then it's absolutely best to enable it. We're in storage view for some reason. Let's go to server view. There we go. Here is our test VM. Let's hit start. And let's open a console. And you can't see the console, so I need to add that. I'm going to add another, what is this? A display capture? Hold on. Just a second. Window capture. Pop-up. Okay. Yeah. There. This is our pop-up window capture, because this was getting annoying. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well, it'll probably automatically start installing. I think. Yeah. Okay. Oh, now it's too big. I hope it's starting the installer and not like a live version. We'll see. Okay, yeah, this looks like the installer. So, yeah, I want English, and I want to continue. It's asking me if I want to update to the new installer or continue without updating. I don't mind updating, so let's update. I mean, any bug fixes they make for the installer, I'd like to use. Okay, US English, that is fine. And I want a Ubuntu server. That is fine. It can search for third-party drivers. I don't care. And, okay, it's checking the IP address. Okay, yeah, it did so. But we're actually going to change it because it's on DHCP right now. And I actually don't want that. I'll fill that in myself. Oh, okay. So our hosts are in 10, so 11, 12, and 13. So let's make this 21. Oh, what was the domain name we gave again? I don't actually remember. I didn't add it in my router either, so we're just going to do it without domain name. That's fine. We're doing stuff based on IP anyway. Okay, that should work. We don't need a proxy. That's fine. I like using the entire disk, but I don't like LVM, so we're going to disable LVM. And it's going to create 2 partitions or 3 partitions. That's fine. That is destructive. Well, we don't care. This is a VM. Your name. My name is Quinled. My server name is TestVM. My username is Quinled, and we are using our super secret password, which isn't password at all. We do want an open SSH server. That is correct. Oh, I didn't find any third-party drivers. Well, okay, fine. Anything we want to install here? No, not really. Just the bare minimum. Okay, and it's installing. Mark Hagen, just an IT rant. I hate all OS installers. My god, so many different systems. Take a lot of time to configure automated installs for most popular OSs. Yeah, sure. I think the Ubuntu one is pretty fair. It's pretty flexible for what you want. But they used to have like a 50 or a 100 megabyte ISO image, which would then pull all the images from the internet. Which is perfect for me, because I have like 600 megabits of internet, so I don't care if it's from local or from the internet directly. But they don't seem to have that anymore. Cloud init cloud images. Yeah, I haven't used those before. Yeah, if you want a lot of custom stuff, I can imagine it'd be harder, but... Yeah, it's weird, right, Philip? I used to love those, because then you just have like 100 megabyte, you put it on a cheap 512 gig stick, and it'll pull all the latest images from the internet perfectly fine for me. It's just as fast or even faster than a local install, but yeah. You can run ZFS on a single disk. That's what we're doing here. We have 3 servers, which all have 2 SSDs, and they're all single pool ZFS pools. That's fine. ZFS does like memory, but I actually have a 2 gigabyte server running. It just runs a single VM on Proxmox with ZFS. That runs okay. Installer like the Call of Duty installer DVDs of like 100 megabytes of data and the rest 100 gigabytes downloaded from the internet. Yeah. Oh, you work as a dedicated server hoster and software developer. Cool. We're just, we need a testing VM because we're going to test the replication and later a failover scenario. And then we'll move on to HA. But it's easier to do that with just a simple VM. So let's reboot now. Yeah, I don't really care that you failed to unmount the CD-ROM. Are we not going to reboot because we failed to unmount the CD-ROM? What? I don't think so. He's probably doing... Are you doing something? Yeah, by default it takes up 50% of the memory, but that's fine. We have lots of memory right now. Press enter. Oh, okay. Okay, well, sure. So that should be booting our server. Let's see. It's configuring the network. That shouldn't take that long. Oh, okay. Okay, so we should be able to log in as Quindor. Oh. And our mega secret password. Really? There we go. This window is always one up, one scrolled up. There we no, don't do that. Okay. Fine. Right, and we should be able to ping the outside world. I don't know, tweakers.net. I don't care. Yep, that works. Cool. So I'm going to exit here because this is our console screen, and I'm going to open a putty. And let's show you the putty. And where is my putty? There. In putty, we're going to enlarge. Go 192.168.100.21. So that's our VM. Of course, this is a different window again. There we go. And we should be able to log in as our user. Cool. So now our VM is running, and we can say ping Quinled.info there, and it'll start pinging Quinled.info without end. Good. Okay, that's good. So now that we have that, let's disable our pop-up real quick, and we want to replicate this VM to node 1 and node 3, so that if node 2 fails, we still have this VM basically. But we don't have shared storage. So how do we do that? Well, first off, we need to disconnect the CD-ROM, because we can't replicate it if the CD-ROM is still attached. So we say there's no drive or no media in the drive. That's fine. You can do that while the VM is running. Okay. And now on the VM configuration on node 2, where we created it, we go to replication. And here we can say add. And I want to replicate this VM to node 1 every 15 minutes. And you can do it every 30 minutes, every 2 hours, every day, or whatever you want. So we want to do that every 15 minutes, and we don't care how fast it goes. We can rate limit it if we want to, but oh no, I hit the button. Okay, never mind. Add. We don't care how fast it does that. It just needs to do that. Okay, let's create that. And since we have 3 nodes and we have plenty of storage and we don't care, we also want to replicate this VM every 15 minutes to node 3. So that doesn't matter if node 2 disappears, we can then start the same VM on node 1 or on node 3. Well, we can't really see anything happening right now. But if we go to here, we might be able to see some network traffic at some point. Because it does it every 15 minutes. We can force it. We can just say, okay, replicate to node 1, schedule now, and we'll schedule this now too. Right? Because we just want it to start. And it says now here, next sync is at 2200 hours, and this one is pending. That's because this one is running. And while this one is running, we can hit log, and we can actually see what it's doing. So it's creating a snapshot because our VMs are running on ZFS. You can create a ZFS snapshot, and then it's running a full sync of the disk to node 1. And well, that's going to take a little bit, but I think it should display a status display. I'm not 100% sure. So we basically told it to make a snapshot every 15 minutes. And then send a copy of that snapshot to the other 2 nodes. Oh, wait, log, there we go. So it snapshotted and it sent all the data. There is about 4.83 gigabytes that it needed to send. And well, it did that, and now the replication is done. So even though it had to replicate 5 gigabytes, since we're on a 1 gigabit connection, it doesn't take that long. So let's go to node 2 and then the network status stats. See if it actually did that. Yeah, here we see a spike of 108 megabytes a second. Oh, we're using power now. We're using 66 watts for the whole cluster. Yeah, we can... Oh, you want to see the blinky lights on the switch, huh? Wait. Oh, almost. There. They're blinking very fast. Oh, I think it's done. Damn it. Let me check. So we go back to test VM. Yeah, it's done. It did both the syncs. It did it to node 1 in 50 seconds and to node 3 in... Oh, okay. It already did a new sync. And since it's based on ZFS snapshots, it only has to sync the changes. So this second sync it did, it took 3 seconds and 2 seconds. So every 15 minutes it'll take probably about 10 seconds or so to do the new replication so that the exact same data is now on the other nodes, right? Let me move this out of the way again. Now, a fun thing we can do is move over the VM to one of the other nodes. So if we take a look in our pop-up again, we have our ping that is running. And I actually want to create a second pop-up. Ping 192.168.100.21. Let me resize this window a little bit. And let's create another window capture. Pop-up 2, yes. Why is it black? That's not good. One moment, please. Oh, there we go. I had to change the capture method for some reason. Is it running? Let me check. Yeah, it's running. So, on screen, yeah, those Ethernet cables are thin, yeah. But it makes them very easy to use on the desk, and they're not very long. So, does it work using deduplication? So only have one copy of the VM? No. It does do compression, so all of the data is compressed per node. That saves a lot of bandwidth and space. But it does actually keep 3 physical copies, because there's no shared storage. We don't have shared anything. They can only talk to each other over the network, and there's nothing shared at all. Yeah, you can do this on disks, 3 different disk sizes too if you want, and we have mismatched nodes, and ZFS doesn't care. As long as there's enough space, there's enough space. So the top pop-up is a ping that is running on the client VM to the internet. Okay, and then this lower one over here, this is a ping from my desktop, which I'm streaming with OBS on, to the VM. And we're going to go into, hold on just a second. Let me disable them real quick. We're going to go into Proxmox, and on the VM, we're going to say migrate. Because it's currently running on node 2, but I want to do something with node 2. I want to reboot node 2, or I don't know what I want to do with it, but I want to do something with node 2. So I'm going to say migrate, and I'm going to, it's giving me a warning that it might take a long while because there's a 32 gigabyte disk on there. But that's not true, because it's already there. Okay? So we can go to node 1, or we can go to node 3. Let's go to node 3. So we're going to say, okay, move this VM from node 2 to node 3. And it'll start the migration. And I'm going to keep the pop-ups up there. Because it's doing that in the background, but it actually does that while the VM keeps running. So if you pay attention to the pings on the VM, okay, our host to the VM missed 1 ping, but the VM itself didn't even notice that. But okay, our host missed 1 ping. But if we now look in Proxmox, we see that the task is done. And now our test VM is running on node 3. Good luck with the bars, Johnny. So we real-time moved over that single VM to another node while it was running. And we missed a single ping, okay, but that was it. Nothing else. No, the 3 nodes don't need to be identical. I don't even have 3 identical nodes. So let's do the same thing again. Let's migrate this, because it even reconfigured the replications that are set for this VM to now replicate to node 1 and 2. Where at first it was node 1 and 3 because it was running on node 2. So it auto reconfigures the replications to the other nodes if it's running on a different node. So let's migrate it again and go to node 1. And this time I'll keep this window open. So it first migrates the state, and then it does a sort of real-time memory over the network. And then it just moves over the VM. And it's done. 18 seconds. And now it reconfigured the replication to node 2 and node 3. And if we look at our pop-ups, we missed a single ping again. Okay. And everything just keeps running. No, we created it on SATA REPL. We created a 2 terabyte SATA SSD on all of the nodes. And that's this SATA REPL here. And we have that shared on all of the nodes, and then we can replicate VMs over those storage or nodes. So that's basically the prime thing I wanted to show and do today. But now we know it's running on node 1. Oh, we're actually connected to node 1. Let's connect to node 2 real quick. Because we want to disconnect node 1 and see what happens later. Okay, so now we're logged into node 2 because we're going to disconnect node 1 later, right? Shared is only in the name, not the storage, not Ceph. Yeah, but in Ceph, I tested with Ceph, and Ceph is nice for large systems, but I didn't like it for this setup because it's kind of overkill. Anyway, that's a matter of opinion, I guess. So we have a VM that we can migrate and replicate and things like that. And our replications are active. That's good. It's going to do that every 15 minutes. It only takes a few seconds. Great. But now we want this VM to keep running even though this network might lose contact with the network. What happen if you run some? I'm not sure what you mean there, Tema. Anyway, we want to keep this VM alive if for some reason the host it's running on goes down. Now, we can't do that. If a host goes down, it'll always break the running VM, at least unless you have a very expensive setup. But it should start it again on another node. So you have to tell Proxmox to do that. So we do that by, let me see, no, we don't want replication, we want HA. And, okay, yeah, I always have to look it up. So we go to the data center, we go to HA, so high availability, and there we add a resource, and we say that we want test VM, and it can do lots of restarts, and it can do lots of relocations, that's fine. And we want this VM to have the state started. So Proxmox will always make sure that this VM is in a started state, basically. Okay, let's add that. Okay, and it's adding some daemons and things like that, and it has a quorum, and okay. Oh, putty screens are blocking the view. Damn it, sorry. So, sorry, I'll quickly do that again. Let's remove that. There we go. Deleting. 1 second, please. There we go. So we go to the danger standard view, we go to HA, and we just hit add, test VM. It can restart this VM a bunch of times, I don't care. It can relocate it. We don't have a group yet, we'll look at that in a minute. And we want this VM to always be started. Okay, add. That's basically what I did. And it's queued. It takes a few seconds. Because it uses snapshots, it should make a perfect snapshot of that database, especially with the QEMU agent integration. So it should flush all writes, and then it basically starts up again on the new node. Maybe a record is lost, but the database shouldn't get corrupted. Okay, now it says VM 100. It is started, and it's running on node 1. Okay, cool. So now we have a VM that's being replicated to all the nodes, and we told Proxmox, whatever happens, make sure this VM is actually running. And we don't care where it's running, as long as it's running. So I didn't actually test this beforehand, but in theory this should work. We're connected to node 2, so to 12. Our VM is running on node 1. And we should have, we have a connection to in the VM. So a PuTTY connection is on top, and we have a ping on the bottom here. So I'm now going to physically, I'm going to try and show you. I'm going to physically pull the network connection from node 1, and we'll see what happens. And I didn't test this, so it'll be interesting. Yep, it's gone. There. Okay, so our host ping isn't pinging anymore, and of course our PuTTY isn't working anymore either. Let me get the box out of the way. And let's see what Proxmox does, because in theory it should think like, hey, this VM is supposed to be running, but it isn't running anymore, and there's still 2 nodes online, 1 is down. In theory it should start doing something. I think. Haven't configured this in a while. I'm getting a drink. Let's see. We'll give it a little bit of time. Peachy. Prepare for failure. Yeah, this is the new form of smoke. Oh, okay. So now it's... Oh, you can't see. So now here it gets the status fence. And over here you can see node 1. Old timestamp dead. Is it dead? That's odd. And it should start moving this VM, or basically starting it from another node pretty soon. Well, I can cut the power, but... Oh, okay, I cut the network connection now. We can do a power cut later, but it's basically the same thing, I'd say. It can't reach that node anymore. It doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, if you have shared storage and more No, this is not a good time for an ad, YouTube. Jesus. Okay, it says starting on node 2. Interesting. Okay, it's started. Ah, and we have a ping again. Let's see if our... Oh, okay, our session isn't back because our PuTTY session is still dead because this is a rebooted VM. But our machine that was running on node 1, which for whatever reason went down, is now running again on node 2. And we can ping it. And in theory, if we take our PuTTY session it'll say, oh, it's dead. Okay, let's restart it. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, that's it. You know, it's back up and running again. And this version of the VM that got started is a maximum of 15 minutes old, because we do a replication every 15 minutes. No, the RAM state only gets replicated if you do a migration and everything is still online. So the thing that gets booted here is what was replicated maximum 15 minutes ago. There. So if we now look at this VM, it says, okay, I'm replicating to node 3 and node 1, because it knows this is now the primary version. And, well, I can't reach node 1, so it doesn't work. Okay. So, do you want me to kill the power to node 1 first, or just reconnect the network? Let's reconnect the network and see what happens, because I'm actually interested in how it'll manage that. So, here we have the network connector. There. Let's wait for it to come online. Yep, okay. Yeah, I see the lights. So now I reconnected node 1, just like a cable got disconnected, which it did. Okay, in Proxmox we can see our node 1 is now up and running again. Yeah, it had a boot sequence on the new machine, or in the new node, that's correct. Because even if you had enterprise shared storage and things like that, if a VM or if a host goes down, those VMs live in the memory of a host. So even if you have the most expensive setup, it'll still get rebooted on another node. Yes, you can do over-the-top resilience setups with shared memory and I don't know, but that's really expensive. So in most cases, a VM will get rebooted. You'll get a much younger version because it has shared storage, so it has the actual version. And the only downside here is that the data in that gets started is 15 minutes old. Yeah. Isn't it taking and restoring a live snapshot? If a node goes down, it can't do that. Even with enterprise stuff. Yeah, you might be able to adjust the timers so that it reacts quicker and things like that. But it needs time to figure out that a node is down and, you know. Bert, in theory, this could work for something like pfSense, sure. Yep. Yeah, but even with VMware and things like that, it'll still have rebooted guests. So, yeah. Yes, it'll take a snapshot every 15 minutes, but it'll only do so with the disk, not the memory. I guess in theory it could do that, but yeah. Well, we can actually check if it did that. I don't think it would do that. But let's check the uptime of our VM. Yeah, our VM is up 4 minutes. So it rebooted for sure. Oh, wait. There. Yeah, so our VM has only been running for 4 minutes. So this is a newly booted VM. It's not snapshotting the memory and then starting it again. Yeah, but those are very expensive solutions, Philip. I mean, it's possible, it all exists, but it's hardly necessary for a Home Assistant VM. I mean... Cookie, no. Since there's only a single VM ever running at the same time, that VM has the IP address, so it can never exist twice or whatever. They're not load balancing or... Yeah, no. Let's check if it resumed replication. Oh, okay. That's not yet. 22:15. Okay, it's still pending. Okay. Let's schedule it now. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, it snapshotted. It removed a previous snapshot, and cool. Now it's replicated again. No problem. It would have done that automatically, but you know. Since this, I haven't understood reasons to use Proxmox to run HA, but now it starts to make sense. Yes, so if you want to direct this a little bit more, currently it's just going to run this VM on whatever node. But like in this setup, we have two high powerful nodes and then one less powerful node, node 1. You can actually create groups, and let's create a group, and we'll call this only node 2 and 3, I don't know. And we're going to add these nodes to that, and you can set a priority. So I don't remember if higher is more priority or lower is more priority. I don't know, you know. Okay, let's call it prefer node 2. So it's allowed to run on all of the nodes. But we want it rather no, like that. So node 2 has priority 3, so I think that's the highest. Lower is first. Yeah, it's always confusing. So okay, we'd like it to run on node. Okay, we're going to do it the other way around. Sorry, we'd like it to run on node 2. No. Sorry, we'd like it to run on node 3, and if that's not available on node 2, and if that's not available on node 3. Higher is prio. So is it higher or lower? Well, we'll see. Well, let's create this group. Let's create prefer node 3, we'll call it. Create. And now let's go into here, and let's go to, so HA, let's go into our VM, and let's activate this group. And it has our priorities in there. Let's hit OK. And let's see what it does. Ah, it's going to migrate. So it's real-time migrating the VM while it's running. And let's see where it ends up. So it has a little airplane over here. Ah, and it's on node 1. So let's see what we set. Node 1 has priority 3. Node 2 is priority 2, and node 3 is priority 1. So the highest number is the highest priority. So let's switch this around. Let's make it like we said, prefer node 3, and let's give node 3 the 3 and node 1 the 1. Okay. And let's see what it does. Yeah, it's going to migrate again. And the awesome thing is, it can do this while the VM is running. Nothing is getting rebooted or restarted or anything like that. You're missing a ping, but that's it. So if we look at our different pop-up window over here, and we hit Ctrl-C and we hit uptime, this VM has been running for 10 minutes, but in those 10 minutes, we already migrated it a few times. And that is the cool thing. You unchecked node 1 and 2. No, I didn't. What? Oh, why did I do that? Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it should stay on the same node, I think. You would not run 3 nodes for one server. What? Yeah, so normally I use my Proxmox clusters and things like that for testing VMs and multiple Home Assistant installs and all kinds of other crap servers I want to run. But I don't need all of those highly available because I don't have the resources for that. So I use the resources of my divided machines, and I have a really powerful server here, and then I have a medium power node and a very low power node. And I create groups, and I only enable HA on some of the VMs. So my Home Assistant, and I still have a Domotics running, and I have a testing Home Assistant, and I have some other stuff running. That all gets replicated and highly available and things like that. And then I can use the resources of all the other nodes for other stuff. Cool. Yes, the minimum recommended is 3 nodes. Yeah, you can do it with 2. There's ways to do it, but little tiny server machines like like this guy with a J4125, these will cost you like $150. They're still faster than a Raspberry Pi. They use about 5 watts idle or something like that. It's pretty low. So I still recommend getting a 3rd node and just getting something like, you know, bare bones like this. It's passively cool, doesn't make any noise, doesn't use any power really. I mean, the 3 nodes and the cluster and the switch and everything we're running right now is 25 to 30 watts. And this machine will only take 5 watts or something like that. Is there no quorum requirement like this, i.e. need for 3? Yeah, there is. That's why we have 3 nodes. And it says quorum okay. Yeah, but if you just want to run Home Assistant, you can just get like 2 of the really cheap low power nodes, and then one I'd get a medium power node, and then run Home Assistant on their standard. And then if that goes down, Home Assistant will start on a lower power node, but it'll still work. And you can get those with 32 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes of memory and an SSD and stuff like that. So it'll work okay enough. And yeah. You can do it with 2, but I wouldn't recommend it, and then it will always be a manual failover. Because you can do the replication with 2, but you kind of need 3 nodes to determine if one of the nodes is down. Because if there's only 2 nodes, how do you know which node is down? Because if this one's down, well, this one sees it as down, but it could very well itself be down. But if you then have a 3rd one, it can say, no, I can still see you, but I can't see you anymore, so we'll start it on you. Yeah. Yeah, split brain. Exactly, Mark. Yeah. So you need 3. You need 2 nodes and a witness. And there's, I mean, you can solve it with a Raspberry Pi, in theory, because they use CoroSync on the background, and you can do all kinds of scripting and things like that to configure it. I just get this. This is currently cheaper than a Raspberry Pi and more powerful, and it uses the same amount or less power. So, I mean, yeah. They are linked in the description. It's a little mini server with a, what is it? An i5 10210U. So it's a low power laptop processor. So even if it's doing something, it's still very low power. Yeah, there's ways to do it with less nodes, but I just get the third machine and not think about it. It gives way more flexibility. So I wonder what's going to happen if I now tell it to migrate to node 1. I think it'll actually migrate it back automatically. Let's see what happens. Requesting migration. Yeah, 2 NUCs with a Pi can work, but I just get like the cheapest passively cooled little thing you can find. Okay, so now it's on node 1, because I told it to migrate there. Proxmox HA is like, what? Why are you in node 1? Go away, go back to node 3. And it's back. Yeah, you can configure the HA per VM. So over here I said it can do 10 relocations and 10 restarts. It's currently not restarting because it can just, real-time move the VM without restarting it. But there's things you can configure there. And yeah, okay, use watchdog, yeah. And you can actually set multiple nodes to the same priority, I think. Let's try that. So let's set node 2 and 3 to priority 3. So the same priority. Okay. So it should stay on node 3. But I should be allowed to move it to node 2 if I want to. Okay, let's migrate that. And you can make multiple groups to distribute your VMs. Like you have a high importance failover VMs and low importance, and then you can say, okay, I want this to be on the high power node or on the low power node, or you can change that. And I think it'll leave it on node 2 now because they have both have the same priority basically. Yeah, so I know when I realized there's different things you can do, like you can put the config folder on shared storage and then run it as a Docker container or even behind a proxy server so that you can have multiple servers running at the same time, and then if one server fails, the other one just keeps running transparently. And I know you can do all that kind of stuff, but it's a lot more complicated for the end user, and I want the end user to basically just have the same experience with Home Assistant like they're used to. This is what I like running. There's multiple solutions to do this, but yeah. I think right now we're going to download Home Assistant. So let me look up where I can download that. Because we've only been going 1.5 hours or so. Right. So if you just Google Home Assistant download, you get to this page. So Home Assistant home-assistant.io/installation, and we can select our operating system. And in this case, we're going to go generic, like Intel NUC, and that should include virtualization, I think. I think so. Hold on. So we want to run the OS option, because then we get user containers and the supervisor and add-ons and managed OS. And that is only with the OS option. So we can't use any of the guides to set it up and things like that. So we're just going to download the... Windows? What? Yeah, we're just going to download the Generics that has the Home Assistant operating system, the container, and the core. Blah, blah, blah. I believe this is the one you also use for a VM. I don't remember. It's been too long since I set this up. Let me check. I don't know. Installation Linux? Did I convert it for Proxmox? I don't remember. Yeah, okay, so the KVM image. Okay, so you need the Linux version, and then let's download the KVM image real quick. And it needs 2 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage, and 2 vCPUs. Okay, sure. No, I use a MikroTik router board firewalls, so they're hardware firewalls and stuff like that. Hit the like button, people. Come on. But I don't know if I can actually import this as an ISO image in Proxmox. I guess in theory it could run in an LXC, but then you can't officially run Docker inside of an LXC. So you run into issues there. M9. Yeah, you need to do it from command line, right? Yeah, that sucks. Okay, we'll do that. So let's go to node 2 again. That's fine. And let's go to our local storage. And let's see if we can upload it. Don't think we can, but we can try. No, it doesn't recognize it. Of course not. That sucks. I thought they had a Proxmox thingy nowadays. Oh, Docker on Proxmox should be easier. Okay, since PV7. I probably tried it before that, but... Yeah, I know you can work with the nested stuff, but at least before when I looked at it and I tried it, I didn't really like it, so... Oh, you can't live migrate LXCs either? Yeah, I ended up with the VM option after trying lots of things, so... right, so I need to get it to my Proxmox machine. Do I have FileZilla on here? I don't. So let me download FileZilla real quick. Hold on just a second. So I know how to do all these things, but I'm just trying to show everyone. So there is a program called FileZilla, which will make this easier to transfer over. Or you can also use WinSCP or something like that. I just want the cheap, free FileZilla, I don't know. So let me install that real quick. This is just a I agree. Oh, no, wait. This is not just a I agree. Okay. They've been messing up the FileZilla stuff. You get a question about... I don't even care. Whatever they're asking, decline. Sure. No, I don't want the shell extension, actually. Yeah, I don't like these stupid included installers, so maybe I should have gone with WinSCP. But either can work. It's fine. Okay, let me resize that window. No, properties. There. Trying to get it all on screen for you guys. So it doesn't really matter what kind of tool you use. This is FileZilla, but you just enter the IP address of the server. So in this case, we want to create the VM on node 2. So we're going to use 12 as the IP address. Just enter the password. And for port, I'm just going to enter 22. That is the SSH port. But in theory, it should then know how to connect. I don't save passwords. Okay. And that should automatically connect us to that node. Then we need to find a directory where we want to store this. Well, since this is a temporary thing, because we're going to import the VM we just downloaded, we're just going to throw it in there. Last modified. So we're just throwing it in temp. Oh, you can get you can get it from wget, and then you can do a script that will do it all for you. Oh, let's look that up. Hold on just a second. Proxmox helper scripts. Okay. Home Assistant OS VM. Nice. Let me show you guys. So there is a GitHub. I'll post it. I'll post it in the chat. Oh, let's try the script. It's interesting. I haven't done that before. So we want the Home Assistant OS VM. Okay, option to create the VM using stable beta or whatever. Okay, it lets you get a script file, and then we can run that script file, I imagine. Let's do that, see what happens. So let's get a new putty. Let's go to node 2. I'm not showing you guys, but I'm just typing in putty 192.168.100.12. Oh, yeah, accept. And, root and our password. So we're just opening an SSH session to node 2. Now let me reconfigure this pop-up. Okay, and this is our SSH session on node 2. It should say node 2. Yeah, it says node 2 right here. And basically we're going to execute random internet code. That's right. Let's see what happens. And on that web page, there is a bash command we can copy. Let's just hit the copy button here. We went to /tmp. Let's see here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, and it's starting the script. This will create a new Home Assistant OS VM. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Default settings. Sure, we'll change those later. That's fine. Which storage do we want to have that on? I want it on SATA REPL. Okay. Okay, yeah, downloaded the KVM disk. No, true, but I believe I've seen these scripts before, so... Yeah, this is basically the same things that we were going to do manually. by downloading the QCOW image and then converting it to a Proxmox VM, basically. But if we have a script that does that for us, well, it's done. So now let's take a look at Proxmox. Yeah, we have a VM. Oh, it's already running. Let's take a console, look at that. Let's switch this over to that. It has a little bit of trouble connecting the console for some reason. Use the dark theme from the same site. What? Not sure why we're not getting a console. Uh-oh. My server offline? Uh-oh. What's going on? Maybe I shouldn't have run that script. Let's refresh our Proxmox page. Okay. There we go. Okay, I don't know what's going on there, but let's kill this one. And now we have a console session with our Proxmox install running in it. And it got a DHCP address. That is normal. No, it wasn't. For some reason, it didn't like my connection to the cluster. I don't know. But let's shut this down real quick. I believe that's an OS command. No. Well, it should have QEMU, right? Because I want to change the VM settings real quick. So let's shut this down. Shut down VM 101, yes. Oh, use the shell from the soundbar, that's right. That's a very good suggestion there, Savog. Because there is a console here too. Well, I guess it's not running, right. So I wanted to change it, give it a little bit more memory. Actually, 4 gigs is plenty. Give it a few more CPUs, because I have plenty of CPUs. It's an OVMF, okay, cool. And all the disks are on SATA REPL. That's good, that's what I wanted. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, I wanted to grow the file system, maybe. Didn't check that. How big a disk did it create? I think it's 32 gig. Let's shut that down again. Sorry. It should do a graceful shutdown. Yeah. Yeah, I hit shutdown in Proxmox and then it shut down gracefully, so that's good. Can I grow this disk? Disk action, resize. Okay. Size increment. Oh, does it? I don't remember. Does it make it the new size or does it grow with this size? I think it grows with this size. Let's say we want to add 64 gigabytes. Resize. Yeah, and now it's 90. Oh, annoying. 96. So it was 32 and now it's 96. Yeah. Okay, let's start it again. And it should auto grow. Yeah, grow file system. You probably can't read that, but it said grow file system, so that should go. Should be good. Now this is getting a DHCP address, so it will be in my other IP range here. But let me connect to that real quick. 19. Let me check. Yeah. Didn't check it right. 100. It doesn't do it. Okay, this console is too small. Hold on just a second. 1010, 128, 119. Is it HTTP? Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so I went to HTTP 1010 128 119 because that is the DHCP address the virtual machine got, and then port 8123, and that should get you to the Home Assistant VM. Let's call this I want to be Quinled, and let's give this our super secret password again. There we go. Create account. Yes, I'm in Amsterdam, that's fine. What? What? I can't say next? Okay, I get a weird pop-up. Home, yes. Country. Oh, I need to select the country, okay. Netherlands. Language, English. Time zone. Amsterdam. Yeah. Elevation 0. Is this okay? Yes. Okay. Sure. Whatever. That's fine. You can send everything to Home Assistant. Oh no, it already found stuff. Oh, it found my receiver. Interesting. What can I do if my... Oh, I can turn my receiver on and off? What? I've only had this receiver for like a week or so. Oh, okay. What? Oh, okay. Anyway, we now have a Home Assistant running. Yay! 0 meters elevation. Yeah, I'm actually below the river, I think, because there's like a dike, like 150 meters that way. So I don't know about that. Yeah, the helper script was pretty cool. It downloaded the newest version because, from what I saw, we're running Supervisor 12.1 and Home Assistant 23.1.4. That sounds pretty new to me. We can actually check it, I guess. No, it doesn't show any updates, so... configure? Sorry, I'm just... No, I don't want to start the setup. No. Google Cast, okay. 2 devices. Radio, okay. So yeah, now we have a Home Assistant running. Yeah. You wish Proxmox would integrate a dark theme. I don't actually know if they have one. Maybe. My settings. Guest nodes. Don't think so. No, I don't think they have a dark mode, sorry. Anyway, let's open a ping to this node. So this is now on, let me get you that pop-up again. Wait. It's this one, yeah. Let's start a ping to that node and fail it over and see what happens, right? So that's 119. Let's verify that real quick. 119. Yeah. Okay, so this is running... Oh, no, wait. We have to configure the replication first. Otherwise, that's not going to work. So we go to Proxmox Node 2 101. That's our host that's running on, and the VM. And we say replication to Node 1 every 15 minutes. And replication to Node 3 every 15 minutes. And let's schedule that right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too bothered by the Proxmox site. I don't look at it every day, but yeah. The helper scripts are almost too easy, right? What are they stealing? No. Okay, let's take a look at the logs here. Oh, the lights. Philip wanted to see the lights. Hold on. Let's quickly do it. There's the lights. Oh, it's almost done. Oh, okay. The replication is done to one of the nodes, so now it's replicating to the other node. So this light is blinking slower than these two. Yeah, Proxmox. This is a cluster in a box. So, yeah, oh wow, it's running 70 watts, 64 watts, 80 watts right now. Oh no, my box will melt. It's nice and warm. Yeah, this is my Proxmox in a cluster box. But the heat is actually pretty spread out, because all the AC-DC conversion is being done over here with these adapters. And they're not warm at all. But normally, in a normal computer, that would generate, heat. And then the rest of the heat is over here. It's pretty good. Proxbox. Yes! Thank you, Renzo. Proxbox. Very nice. Okay, well, while we were showing off the box, it took 35 seconds and 34 seconds so a minute to replicate it to both nodes. And let's first live migrate it, see what happens. So let's say migrate and go to where? I'll let chat choose. Do we migrate it to the slower speed node 1 or to the same speed node 3? What does chat want? Can I make a poll? How do I poll? Wait. I can make a poll, right? Start poll. Node 1. Move to which node? No, wait. There's going to be a poll. Node 1. Node 3. Ask your community. Do you see a poll? Hit the poll. Node 4. No, there is no node 4. Oh, we're going node 1. Wait, no. Okay, I don't know how to end the poll. I'll end the node 1 is the slower one. It's the passive one on top. %57%, 62% for node 1. Oh, well, I can see the intermediate results, but I guess you guys can't, right? I'm out of drinks. So I'll go get another Coke, and after that, we'll finish the poll. Congratulations, HA in 3 minutes. Thanks, Savak. Oh, you can see the results. Okay. It's a normal Coke. I don't have a colder special Coke. Okay. So let's finish the poll. End poll. Move to which node? Node 1, 65%. Node 3, 34%. And poll complete, 35 votes. Nice. Okay. So we're going to node 1. Oh, it's syncing right now. Just give it a second. Okay. Migrate. See what it does. Oh, the pop-up's in the way. Okay, it's transferring the active state. So that's basically the memory, and it's doing that at like 112 megabytes a second, so that's a gigabit. It missed a single ping. This is a regular Coke Zero, because I don't have any specials. Okay, so it says the moving is completed, and it's indeed now running on node 1. So let's go here and hit F5. Oh, I need to re-log in because it rebooted. My username is Quindor, and this is my password. Log in. Yeah. Yeah, so it does No, wait, this... I think it just logged me out. This shouldn't have rebooted. Did it reboot? No. Can I see system... logs? There is an uptime somewhere, but I don't remember where. Dashboards? No. System. Analytics? No. No. There is an update overview, or there used to be. One ping only, please. I don't remember where it is. Developer tools, stats. Huh, I actually don't remember. Dashboards? Overview? No. Yeah, I don't have any add-ons. Sure. Head on to... Oh, the add-on store. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't remember. I guess we could check on the console of the VM. So, console. No, this is my HDMI test VM. Hold on. Where is it? Here it is. Go away. Yeah. But I don't know the command in HAOS to check the uptime. Isn't it about? About. Nope. Got to go now. Bye, Dave. I'm looking for any display which will tell me how long HA has been running. And there used to be an overview which also shows you like the memory usage and stuff like that. Is it in the supervisor or something? Analytics? No. Updates? No. We can restart it here, but I don't think that's what I want. No, cancel.
Alright. I'll tell you the truth.
There's an integration for uptime. No, but there used to be an overview which also shows you the CPU. Let me try and find it in my own Home Assistant. But I think I'm running an older version, of course. Huh. System hardware? No. Oh, interesting. What does it say here? System hardware? Yeah, it's an OVA. Yeah, okay. All hardware? No. Oh. What's this? It makes graphs now? Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm pretty sure there was like a event overview thingy that also showed you. Oh, it used to be standard, but as sometime last year you have to add it. Okay, well let's add it. Add-ons, add-on, search uptime. Uptime Kuma, no. Statistics. How is it called? Community add-ons, no. Official add-ons. Or is it just an integration? Oh, it's an integration. Okay, integrations, add, uptime. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Yeah, but, okay. So it tracks the integration uptime. Fine. Supervisor. Home Assistant Core. Up to date. Okay. Don't remember where it is. Is it here? Helpers? No. It's these. Huh. Okay, well, whatever. It's integration, yeah. Go to history. Or the logbook. Yeah, maybe I mean the logbook. Where is that, Philip? Activate advanced mod. That's my user, right? Advanced mode. Does it automatically do that? Yes. Learn more. Well, we'll try to find it ourselves. Statistics? No. System. Oh man, I don't know where it is. Okay. This is getting boring, sorry. Logs. No. In the menu. Well, which menu? Oh, here? Something like that, but then it also had the hardware statistics in there, like memory usage and things like that. But I think it changed to, if you now look here in hardware, and you wait a little bit, it now shows you the memory statistics over here, instead of, I think, what I remember. No, but it also had, like, the logs. It was one screen which just had all of that. But, yeah, I guess it's not there anymore, or not the same way. Let's set it at 5. It was like this. So you could see all the logs. But then it had a top bar which also had statistics in there. And you can also reboot or the supervisor or the host. And yeah. Yeah, they removed it with the new menu. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Just go to Developer Tools, States Uptime. Yeah, Developer Tools. No, not set. Am I back? Let me know if I'm back. Now is a good time for an ad. Yeah. Let me know if I'm back. Okay. So this is now the second time my network is glitched. So I'm thinking this switch is connected to my switch over here, which is a PoE switch that also has the uplink to the rest of my network on there. And for some reason, the last time we did a big sync, we lost contact with the Proxmox interface. And now we did a big sync again, and we lost for some reason the whole stream disconnected. So for some reason it seems like if I do a sync in here, it loses my connection to there, and it upsets the switch. I don't know. That's very odd. Now is not a good time for an ad. Go away. Jesus. I don't know. Well, I guess we could test that later. Yeah, let's reset my statistics real quick. Okay, let's resume. Let's resume. So we should still be uptime like all the time. Uptime 9 minutes. Yeah. So nothing happened there. That's still going as it is. I think it's some kind of overload when this one is doing, because this is all in a box. I mean, this is all locally on this little switch here. So I don't see how that would influence the rest of my network, but it seems like my uplink switch doesn't really like that. So it must be doing some kind of broadcast or something. I don't know. It's odd. Anyway, we still have 9 minutes of uptime here. I'm going to move it to node 1, because then I know I can reach the Ethernet plug of node 1, basically. And I don't know what the other nodes are. So I'm going to migrate it to node 1. And like Draadstal said, I'm going to pool the power. So I'm not going to disconnect the network. I'm just going to pool the power plug. Right? So let's get our ping back. There it is. Yeah, let's put it over here. I don't know. So it's migrating the VM right now. Yeah, it's a Chinese PoE switch. Maybe I should uplink it directly to the rest of my network without that. A summary of what their Gilnes. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, it's back running on node 1. And let's check the replication status, node 2 and 3. Okay. And it replicated, I don't know, a few minutes ago, whatever. You want to pull... No, if I pull the power of the Prox box altogether, it's gone. Creating those nodes. Just go to the previous live stream. Your name is called... Yeah. No, in the previous live stream, we went to completely setting this up. Well, except putting it in the box, but that's not that difficult. I just crammed it in the box. So, yeah, the previous live stream is everything we did up until today, and then today we just continued there. Right, so it's running on node 1, and we have a ping open, and... Sure, we'll do that later then. As the last test, I don't know. So we have our Proxmox here, and this is node 1, because it's the passive one on top of there. And I'm just going to pull the power. There, I have pulled the power plug. I want to make sure it doesn't touch anything. Hold on. Let's squish it with some wires. There, that should be fine. Okay, so now it's down. Okay. And let's check the uptime sensor. Well, we can't, because Home Assistant is down, right? Okay, let's check what the cluster is doing. What? Why am I having a communication failure? I'm on node 2, right? Yeah. Uh-oh, did I do something wrong? Data center? No? Node 2. Data center. Okay, yeah. HA. So it still says started, but it did get an old timestamp from node 1. So it's like, did something go wrong? How warm is the bottom of the NUC? Not that warm. We're only using 20 watts right now, so... Oh wow, my viewers dipped like... Okay, let's give it a minute. It says fence, so it's like, okay, this VM needs to be running somewhere, and it's not. Let's start it somewhere else. Let's give it a minute. Well, currently the uptime integration says nothing. It says, I can't reach this website. Okay. Oh, it timed out. Okay, it appeared on node 3. It can't live migrate when you pull the power. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it's running, so let's give it a few seconds to boot. Okay, we're seeing a ping now. And, okay, let's go here. Okay, HA is still starting. There we go. Uptime sensor. Sensor hasn't started yet. And there we go. Uptime 10 seconds. So, takes about a minute with the default configuration. I believe you can change some values there if you really want to, but you need to give it some time. So if you like have a flaky connection or something like that, you don't want it to ping pong all over the place. So, you know, it has a minute of downtime. No, sure, but in a normal home, being down for a minute, I doubt you'd even notice. It's not like the lights flicker or something like that. I mean, yeah. So now it's running on node 3, and yeah, it's running again. And it's active, it's running, it's fine. And it's the same HA, because it's the same VM. It's maybe 15 minutes old. So let's check in our logbook. 1 minute ago, 32 minutes ago. Okay, sure, I guess. Why is it turning off all the time? That's odd. Your Sonoff lights flicker when HA starts up? Why? Yeah, it has a replication, M9, so if you look on the VM, it's replicating, well, it's on node 3 right now, so it replicates the same data, so it makes a snapshot every 15 minutes using ZFS, and it replicates it to node 2 and node 1. Are you running ESP Home, Bert Claes? So, as far as HA goes, this is kind of the idea. We have yes, ESP Home. Okay, so when ESP Home cannot contact Home Assistant, by default, I believe after 5 minutes, it will try a reboot to see if it can then contact Home Assistant. But you can change that timer in your ESP Home configuration. I have it set to 60 minutes, 60, so an hour. So if it for some reason loses contact with Home Assistant, but it resumes contact with Home Assistant within 60 minutes, it doesn't reboot. You can actually disable that if you want to. But normally it'll do it in 5 minutes, I believe. So that's why your lights are flickering. And now comes the real challenge. Auto failover with Z-Wave RS485 over USB. All USB devices will surely have to match between nodes, right? Yeah, so I don't use that. That's kind of a problem. But I'd have to set up a test setup using Zigbee or something like that. And then, yes, you need a stick per host. Or there's been a lot of discussion under the intro video. And the general consensus is if you have a Zigbee broker that is external, so running on some kind of other box, it doesn't matter if your Home Assistant failovers, because then it'll just keep running. But if it's on Home Assistant itself, in theory, your Zigbee network would reboot or something like that. I don't know, because I don't use it that much. Yeah, MQTT devices on ESP Home will do the same. If they lose contact with Home Assistant or MQTT in that sense, they'll reboot after 5 minutes. But you can change that. USB over IP, I guess, can work, but I've seen his post, but I haven't read it yet. But this is less enterprise than you think. I mean, this is very cheap commodity hardware, and this is not about trying to keep it alive with a cluster and nodes failing and whatever. This is just like, I want to go to the Home Assistant URL or my app, and I just want Home Assistant to work, even if one of my cheap boxes fails. So it doesn't have ECC memory, it doesn't have redundant processors or redundant network, or it doesn't even have RAID. I'm not even running RAID on here. It's just replicating it to multiple nodes so that if one of the nodes fails for whatever reason, I can just start it on another node, and that process is automated. That's it. Yeah, sure, if you have a external thing that does Zigbee or whatever, and that fails, then, of course, that is a single point of failure. In that sense, my Wi-Fi network is too. Although I have 5 access points spread around the house, but then my router could fail, or I don't know, something could fail. But then you'd have to make solutions for that too. But you know, a computer box, especially Raspberry Pi, for instance, is a little bit more sensitive than those equipment, in my experience. So I like doing this because I have multiple things that I want to keep online. Yeah, and I like having this in a cluster that way. MQTT to Zigbee, yeah, you could do that. Six minutes. Woohoo! Okay, let's reboot the node. I think this one turns on automatically. Yes, it does. Okay. Yep. And it should auto rejoin the cluster and then start replicating again. Done. Add EcoFlow as a UPS in your set. Well, you can do that. I'll build my own, but yeah. Well, yeah, the same as for me. Everything I do is on Wi-Fi. Or BLE, but then connected to an ESP that is connected to Wi-Fi. And if an access point fails, it'll just connect to another access point. That's fine. So, in my case, this is enough. But if you indeed use Zigbee or Z-Wave, there might need to be alternative solutions there. And I don't know what form that would have. You'd need a Zigbee stick per host, obviously. But then I believe those have a different MAC address. So if the initial host goes down, the new one starts up, but then it has a different MAC address, and maybe the state is like 5 or 10 minutes old. I don't know how that affects the Zigbee network. Well, this is more about more things there. If I want to do maintenance, like patch my Proxmox or something like that, because I have multiple things running on it, I can just move my HA to another host, then patch that host, and then move it back. Or like, I have a giant storage server which my Home Assistant runs on, but sometimes I have to do hardware maintenance on it. So I can just move it somewhere else real quick, have it run over there, and then not worry about it. Do you have a video about a DIY UPS? No, I don't. Oh, Node 1 is back. Oh, it's already replicating to both. So that is... Yeah, that was a few seconds ago. Oh, it's going to sync in a minute. Okay, let's wait for that. How often does a node fail? Maybe not that often, it depends. But as I said, for hardware maintenance or other stuff, I've had the issue like, okay, this is my main server, Home Assistant is running on here. I want to rebuild it or I want to do something else with it, but I can't. So adding a few cheap nodes instantly fixes that issue. And I don't like running on a Raspberry Pi because I generally like more performance. I do a lot of testing also with Home Assistant. So then I have to ESP home compile and stuff like that very often. And running on a big box or even a small box server like this makes it a lot faster. Yes, my production HA is running on Proxmox as well. And my testing HAs too. So. Did it sync? Yeah, it just did a new sync. Cool. So now you're telling me to cut power completely? Okay, let's do that. Let's see here. We're uptiming 10 minutes. Okay, cool. I guess it's going down. So, I guess you want to see, right? Here we go. Here we go. You see this big switch here? Now it's dead. 0 watts. Yeah, all the machines are off. Can you see? Okay. So Proxmox down. Oh, Proxbox is down. Oh no! Okay, let's start that up. And let's start all the nodes up to make it extra confusing. We'll do it exactly at the same time. So all nodes are turned on again. It's making a little bit of noise. Normally you don't hear the box. It's dead, Jim. Absolutely. Right, so this is now all down. So let's give it a few seconds to reboot. In theory, this ping down here should start automatically again without me doing anything. Because HA or HA in Proxmox also, it knows that I want this VM in a started state. So without me doing anything, it should automatically start running again. If this was a DC, someone would now get fired. Yeah, I'd fire the person who had a button on that extension cord there. I mean, even with LAN parties and stuff like that, the amount of times things have failed because there was a button on the extension cord, I don't even want to know. Put tape on there. I don't know. So, I'm not doing anything. Well, yeah. If you have a prox box and you turn off main power, then the cluster is not going to save you. But then let's see. Maybe it doesn't know where to start this VM now. I mean, I don't know. It has 3 copies of the VM, so where should it get started? So let's see if I can F5 this. Yes, I can. But it's not starting my VM. Okay, let's see our HA status. It says started. I'm not... Oh, okay. Idle and waiting for agent lock. Okay. Master says all timestamp. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. I don't know. Oh, it's running. It's running. It started it. It had to get its quorum right. No, I didn't put it in a group yet. Oh, it's pinging. It's pinging. It's back. The cleaning person needed a power socket for the vacuum. Your Proxmox happened to be connected to it. Yeah. So let's give it a second to boot. I guess let's check it. Oh, it's back. 24 seconds, 25 seconds, 26 seconds, 27 seconds. So so the whole cluster recovered from a total Proxmox failure. Yeah, it did. It did. That's what I expect too. So it resumed on node 3 because it knows that one has the latest status. And I get there sometimes a little wait period where it needs to figure out, okay, which nodes are here, which is the primary node in the cluster, which has the latest status there. Should I start it here? Should I start it here? I get there's wait periods for that, because if you do it instantly, that would create issues in a real life environment. Okay, yeah, it's probably replicating again. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. Yeah, Proxmox is gonna stay. My previous job was in enterprise environments, but I dealt with large storage systems and a lot of backup systems. So if you had a few terabytes you wanted to back up every night, I was your guy. But I also had a lot of VMware knowledge, storage knowledge, and because of LAN parties, I have a decent knowledge of networks and things like that. So, yeah. Cool. Okay, so Marcel just issued the final challenge. Start a migrate, and during the migrate, pull the plug in the complete cluster. When would this ever happen? I mean, we can do it, but this isn't a expected scenario. Basically, when does this happen in reality? You'd have these cluster boxes. Don't put them in a Proxmox. So the Proxmox itself is the worst idea of a Proxmox cluster, right? So never build a Proxmox like this unless it's for testing. If this is a real-world scenario, don't put it in a box on a single outlet with a individual switch per system. Put the passive one somewhere in your bedroom and put the two active ones like in your cellar and in another room. I don't care, your office. Put them somewhere else in your house. Don't make a single box with a switch and put them all in there. That is the dumbest idea you can have. That's not the idea. Yeah, but if the cleaning lady rips out a single plug, that's fine, because then one node will go down, not all of them. Okay. Yeah, Bert, I don't think anything will go wrong, but we can try it. As the last thing on the stream, let's do it. So we're going to migrate. I'll keep the box in the screen. Ever heard of main power failure? Yeah, but if main power fails, I don't care if I can access my lights, because they're not going to turn on anyway. And then, once I have Project Energy online, Quinergy, no problem. I just have my battery power. So let's see if the box is on screen. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to hit migrate to node 1. Migrate. Okay. And let's wait for the arrow. Phew. It's down. It's down. Houston, it's down. Okay, so we still have the arrow on the screen there. So it was migrating. Status? Config logged. Migrate. HA state, migrate. Okay. But it's down. Oh no. Hello? Quinergy patented it now. Yeah. Okay, let's turn on power again. Let's turn on these machines. There we go. Oh, yeah, I get that. I get fun tests. I mean, but you have to be realistic at some point too. If don't put it in a box, then normally not all of your nodes would fail at the same time. That'd be very highly unlikely. Even put them like on different power groups in your house, you know. I've had that happen before, that the power, I think it was actually when I was with you guys and I was thermal pasting a hot plate, and we were making AC bridges. So the power group my main server was on kept turning off because, well, the server was on that group too. It shouldn't have been, but it was. So that's a scenario where HA saved me. Okay, I don't know what it's doing. It's booting, I guess. Let's F5 it. Okay. It's back. But the node, it's still... It's confused. It says it's stopped, but it's migrating. What? DR tests are even better if there are people preparing the DC to go down before it actually goes down. What? Okay, so it's kind of confused here. It still says migrate, but it's node 1 is idle, and these are waiting for agent lock. And it says it got an old timestamp, so it's waiting to sync all of that to bring the cluster back online. Okay, the quorum is now okay, I think. No, it's still waiting. It's probably slightly confused. Let's give it a little bit of time. Let's give it a little bit of time. What? They preemptively failed over? That's not a DR test. Jesus. Okay, so now the nodes are idle and active. And it's starting the VM again, but on node 3 it says. Okay. Let's wait what it does. Let's wait. I mean, you can do a failover test, but that's something that's different than a DR test. I mean, come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're getting red status bars here. Like, we can't we can't start it because the VM is locked for migration. So now it has an issue because it keeps generating these errors. It's like, no, can't start VM. It's locked. It's migrating. You can't start it. What is the error saying? Well, it says HA wants to start this VM, but it can't because it's locked for migration. So, can we cancel that task? No, it's still trying to. Start migrate. Well, we can't stop the task anymore because that was before the reboot. Okay, Can we force start it? Probably not. Oh, it says okay. Okay. Probably still can't. No, it can't. Okay. Can we force migrate it? The VM is locked. Okay. Can we unlock it? That's probably a CLI thing, though. Let's see here. Hardware. Summary. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh. Support me links. Maybe not that nice. Okay, anyway. Task history. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I don't know if you can unlock a VM in the GUI. Data center. No. It's successfully started on node 2. No, this is 100. We need 101. Yeah, in the CLI you can do an unlock. Okay, well let's see if we can do an unlock in the GUI. But I doubt it. I don't think we can. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Well, that won't remove the lock. So let's go to node 3 and let's open a shell. And there we're indeed going to do what Renzo said. QM unlock 101. No GUI for unlocking. Yeah, I expected that. So let's unlock that VM because we know that it shouldn't be locked right now. There we go. Oh, and now it's migrating. Let's see where it goes. Oh, yeah, it appeared on node 1. So click the lock at the top besides migrate. What? Oh, more. Which lock did you mean there, Chris? Was there a GUI option? I don't think there's a GUI option, actually. I haven't found a GUI option before, at least. But yeah, let's see if our ping reappeared. Yep. Does our HA work? Yes. It's now unlocked so it doesn't show. So there was a GUI. Okay. Well, can we do the reverse? QM lock 101. No. So I can unlock, but I can't lock? That's stupid. So there is a QM unlock. Huh, okay, there's no lock command. Okay. Let's migrate it again. In theory, that should show the lock thingy then. Let's go to node 2. I don't care, that's fine. So is there now here? Oh, over here. This is not a button, though. So yeah, it's locked, but it's not a button. No, don't want to crash the cluster again. Okay, well, it's unlocked already. And this likely didn't change. No. So yeah, this is not... The icon over there is not a button. That's just a status. So I don't think that's going to work. I believe you can migrate LXCs, but you can't live migrate them like you can a VM. And then you're also going to run into issues with nested, well, not hypervisors in this case, but you're going to run LXC and then Docker inside of there. And I've done that before, and I've tested with it, but in the end, I just like the VM approach better, because this is just a normal HA. So you can just hit update, and you can still make, so we can still, in theory, make snapshots of, you know, before we're doing an update, we can make a snapshot, and I believe you can still migrate the VMs while having a snapshot. So now we have a snapshot on HAOS. Maybe we need to replicate it just to be sure. Let's just schedule this for now. Uh-oh, there is no secret this time, I think. Let me think of a secret real quick. I've been working on all kinds of stuff, but there's nowhere ready to show yet. Come on. Pending? Why are you pending? Stop pending. DIY UPS as a secret. Well, Project Energy or Quinergy will serve as a DIY UPS, but then a really big one. Okay, it's syncing. Alright, it's taking a while for node 3. Oh, now it's syncing the other one again. Okay, fine. 16 seconds? What were you doing? Log. Oh, it needed to sync a bit more data. Okay. It's probably because of the other snapshot, I guess. I don't know. The secret is that Quinled doesn't have time for a secret. I have been really busy, but yeah. Okay, so they're both synced now, and we still have a snapshot here, including the RAM. Let's see if we can migrate it still to node 3. Yeah, I think it will, because it says, hey, I've got a snapshot disk here that I also need to migrate. Okay, let's migrate it. Just show a random LED strip. Nobody will know. Uh-oh. Migrate aborted. Why? Oh, okay. It can't do an online storage migration if a snapshot exists. Okay. So it would have to be an offline storage migration then, probably. No. The headphone pads are for another headset. Okay, so it can't migrate, so let's shut it down and see if I can migrate it then, including the snapshot. So that's a limitation. If you have a snapshot on there, you can't migrate. Okay. Or you can't live migrate. Hold on. Let's see if I take it down. No, I use NX Witness. Okay, so now it's down, so let's try and migrate it again. Go to node 3, migrate. Okay, let's see if it does that. Okay, it started a migration task. Yeah, it's making snapshots, including a snapshot of the snapshot. And now it migrated it over to node 3. And let's start it again. No, I want to start it. Okay. Let's give it a second. Okay, it's pinging again. Few more seconds. And let's see if we... Yep. And it's back up again. Yes, it should be possible when the node fails. We can try that. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, that's really the last thing we're going to do. Let's remove this snapshot. Okay. Then let's migrate it to node 1, because I know which node that is. I don't know from the other two. Okay, migrating to node 1. Yeah, it does sync the snapshots, so let's wait for it until it's on node 1. Come on. It always takes longer when you're waiting for it. Okay, it arrived on node 1 and it should still be up. Yep. Let's make a snapshot here. Before down. Okay. Oh, it's including memory. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so now it has a snapshot. Let's make sure the replication is up to date. So let's schedule those. Yeah, if it uses a little bit more memory, Chris, it'll take a little bit longer, and there's likely going to be a little bit more data changing. But not that long, because it updates every 15 minutes, and how much logging data is written in 15 minutes? It can do a 100 megabyte in a second. So, I mean, how much data do you generate in a minute? Not that much. I mean, or 15 minutes. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Did it sync? Oh, no, it's still pending. Syncing. Yeah, I like Proxmox. I've been running it for a few years. I used to be a VMware guy myself. But it's free. If you don't want to pay for it, you can pay for it, but you don't have to. Still, it supports development and stuff like that too. But it's free to use at home, and it has ZFS inside, which I love. And then this built on top of it with the replication and the migration and things like that. It's an excellent system. Okay, so it replicated to both nodes. It's running on node 1, and oh no! The power for node 1 failed again. It's such a bad node. Okay, node 1 is down. Let's go to HA there. So it'll take a little bit to figure out that node 1 is down. Let's wait for that.
They talk about another kind of world.
Okay, it sees the old timestamp, so it's like, is this node down?
I'm lost in old ways.
You just love torturing those nodes. Yeah, exactly. I haven't given Zigbee or Z-Wave too much thought because I don't use it. But there have been discussions under, especially the intro video, and the general consensus is that just failing it over with multiple sticks is going to have an issue because each Zigbee stick has a unique address and then the network will be messed up or something. I don't know because I don't use it. Having an external Zigbee master, whatever, primary node, seemingly is able to fix that, but then that becomes your primary primary source of failure, single source of failure. So yeah. Sure, you can you know, you can redundant, you make all kinds of things redundant, but it's still not figured out that we kind of want this to go back again. Figured NVR uses Docker installation. What is the best solution for install? Install HAOS or Debian OS Docker? It kind of depends if you want to manage the Docker or not. In this case, I want HAOS to have the supervisor and then be able to run HA like it's normal and do updates and not have to do anything manual there. But if you don't mind doing it manually and stuff like that, or it doesn't really do stuff in Docker, you can just run it in a VM or even in a container if you want to. It's still figuring out what to do. You should simulate a 2-minute network outage. You mean plug it in back right now? Oh, I guess we could do that. Let's plug it in right now. It's not up yet. It's confused. There we go. I plugged in the node and turned on. Oh, you get the Sky Connect. Cool. Yeah, but it'll probably start it again on node 1 once it's back. Because it's like... Oh, okay. No, it moved it to node 3. So now it's started on node 3 and node 1 will be back in a few seconds. But I think it's just going to be like, okay, well, whatever. It was gone. It's back now. Don't care. So node 1 is back now, but it's already started on node 3, so it'll just keep running it on node 3, I think. It'll start replicating again in a minute. Yeah, I mean, it came back right after it had moved it, so it'll probably not care. Tear down picture of Sky Connect on the Discord. Okay, cool. Oh, I guess I have a secret. I'll mention it later. Status errors? These are just that it couldn't replicate because the nodes weren't there, but I think that's still the status from the previous node, basically. No route to host, yeah, because it wasn't there. Oh, and this errored out. Okay. Oh, let's not wait for it. Schedule now. Schedule now. Oh, okay. Uh-oh, is it killing my network again? Who knows? Oh, no, it's okay. Oh, it took 6.9 seconds. Okay. Yeah, so now everything is synced again, and no problem. Yeah, it should have been. It would normally be gone in 15 minutes, but I forced it. I gave it 4 gigabytes. And 4 cores. That should be plenty for a Home Assistant, really. So replication means that it sends a snapshot copy to node 1 and node 2 in this case, because it's running on node 3. So that in case of node 3 going down, node 1 and node 2 still have a local copy. Instead of having shared storage, which is generally more expensive or more complicated to set up, and often more resource intensive, it just has a copy, and it makes that copy every 15 minutes. And then if one of the nodes goes down, another has to boot the VM, the data in there will be max 15 minutes old. So yeah, that's been HA so far. I don't know if we'll be doing a new live stream on this soon, because this is the basic setup. We went through setting up the 3 nodes. We went to installing Proxmox on them, and then we went through updating the nodes and creating the cluster, creating the storage, and then setting up a VM, replicating it, and we did lots of tests with taking nodes down and live migrating between the nodes. I think that's a really cool feature, that you can live migrate a VM while it's running without having shared storage. That, like 5 or 10 years ago, that would have been unthinkable. But even on a simple gigabit network, I just have a little gigabit switch here. It does it in seconds, and it only loses a single ping. And sure, if you have a much more complicated HA and things like that, it might lose 2 or 3 pings while syncing the memory and keeping everything up to date. But then you can maybe upgrade to 2.5 gigabit. You can get these little machines now with 2.5 gigabit interfaces built in. Or I've actually tested using USB adapters, and that works fine on Linux too. On Windows I had issues with those. But on Linux, those 2.5 gigabit adapters worked fine. And then you can sync even faster. Or you could, all of these little boxes often come with 2 or more network interfaces. And you could have your replication on the second interface and your primary communication on your first interface, so that the bandwidth won't bother it. And yeah, I think it's a neat solution. As I said, I've been running with this for many months now, with my own Proxmox cluster, and I kind of want to integrate these nodes because they're a lot lower power than what I'm using right now. So in my case, I'll have my big storage server with a few 100 terabytes of storage and a 12-core Ryzen 5000 processor and all the stuff, 64 gigabytes of memory, and that's my primary storage server and also my most powerful server. And then I have 2 other nodes which are a lot less power hungry, so use 5 or 10 watt idle, still have decent performance, but those are generally for when I want to take the big server down. I just migrate everything that I want to keep running to the small ones, and then I can operate on the big server or patch things and things like that. So I really like this type of setup. I get it's overkill for a lot of people. In my house, if HA goes down, a lot of stuff doesn't work anymore. But that's a choice. You don't have to design it that way. But yeah, that is the idea behind Project HAHA. And I hope that explains things. I might make videos of this. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll cut up these live streams. Maybe I'll make new videos of it. I don't know yet. But I still hope everyone enjoyed watching that. So a secret, we actually discussed this in the Quinled.info channel yesterday, is I've been developing some boards, and one of those is based on the ESP32C3. It's going to be an analog dimmer board for like everything you see here except these guys, and that is based on the ESP32C3. And Espressif yesterday or the day before, but recently announced the ESP32C6. And it's basically, it should be, in theory, compatible with the ESP32C3, so you can use the same footprint and the same pins and stuff like that. But it has a Zigbee radio inside, or rather, it can do Zigbee 3.0 on 2.4 gigahertz next to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So in theory, that should make the little analog dimmer box I'm working on, it's called an AN Mini for now, Zigbee compatible. So for all you Zigbee folks out there who want a ESP home-based Zigbee controllable analog dimmer, that might be interesting. Now, we're talking months here because the C6 has been released in limited quantities. I've ordered some prototype or some development boards, but it take a while. And then software support. There is a initial software IDK. What's it called again for Espressif? And there's initial software support coming out. It's not available yet. And then ESP Home still needs to support it. And then the Zigbee functionality is still very limited in these initial software supports. So if we go past all these hurdles, we might have a Zigbee controllable dimmer that I release. But it'll be months and months. I will keep the Proxmox, or the Proxbox. No, I will decommission the Proxbox at some point, because I want to run these low power nodes in my network, in my own network, in my production network, basically. And these are already old, because I bought them like a year ago, but then the project kind of stalled. But with the current energy prices, I'm running I have 4 nodes online right now, and 2 of those are like an i5 2500K and very old stuff. So those need to be replaced because they're starting to kind of fail. They're like 10 plus years old, and they're very power hungry. These use like 5 or 10 watts idle, while a 2500K will easily use 40 to 50 watts idle. So I want to replace those with these boxes. They'll be twice as fast, have 3 times the memory, and use a fifth of the power. So yeah, these are going in my production network. So to be released in 2030. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, but we'll keep the Proxbox name. But I kind of need the nodes. I can scrounge together a new Proxbox though, but with older hardware. Maybe I'll do that at some point, just for fun. Because I still have this guy. You know, the very low power node. And there will be a video about hardware still for HAHA. The new ESP32C6 can be a router and an end device. Once software release supports both. But in theory it can be both, Lewis. So that could also form a Wi-Fi Zigbee bridge. So in theory, maybe if you can have multiple nodes on there with multiple ESP32s, that could maybe facilitate Zigbee HA. I don't know how Zigbee works yet. But if you could have multiple of those in router mode, and you could access those over Wi-Fi, or, you know, maybe that's an idea. I don't know. So yeah, I thank everyone for watching. I guess that's the secret for today, that I might actually accidentally have created a Zigbee device while I didn't know it yet, because the C3 and the C6 are compatible. And they just released it like yesterday, and I already finished the design for it. So there will be a first prototype soon. I might share something about that. I might not. I don't know. I don't like sharing too early. They will find some HA for that at some point. Yeah, probably. But yeah, lots of stuff in the works. There's more stuff in the works. I already showed you another analog board in a previous live stream. I guess I can show it again. That's this guy. It's a bit bigger. This is a very high power analog board, which can do up to 30 amps. It has lots of outputs. It has some secrets. Oh, maybe I can share that as a secret. Look at this giant power plug here, right? That's a 30 amp power plug. And it has Ethernet and Stemma QT for I2C and button inputs, and it can have a display on top, a touchscreen. It's going to be really interesting. Okay, let's share another secret then. So this is another analog board I'm working on, and one of the features this will have, it'll have 5 analog channels for RGB CCT. Very high power, 10 amps per channel if you want to, but then 30 amps in total. But that's like at 24 volt, that's like 480, I don't know, 720 watts or something. It's a lot of watts. You need a giant power supply for that. But it also has a digital channel. Because now there's strips coming out that are like 12, 24, even 36 volts that have analog for white and then digital LEDs combined. And this board, you could run analog and digital at the same time from a single controller. So that's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how interesting that is in real life, but at least this controller can do that basically. So yeah, I've been working on analog boards with MOSFETs and things like that. And the idea is that they're going to be pre-assembled, because I already have lots of DIY analog boards, but there haven't been any pre-assembled analog boards. So my current focus is on getting some pre-assembled analog boards which are natively compatible with Home Assistant or TESmart or WLED or whatever you want to run on there, with cool features. Yeah. So people who want to run Ethernet because it's like home lighting and I need Ethernet, or who want to have local button inputs, or all that stuff, it'll all be on there. Oh, you're waiting for the ESP32H2? Yeah, I guess that's coming too, but the C6 seems to kind of do the same thing partially. So that'll be interesting. As I said, I ordered some development boards for the C6, and I'll certainly be taking a look at that. And I guess at some point I'll need to buy a Zigbee device or something. And who knows, maybe in like 6 months, a year, we can revisit the HA topic and like, hey, ESP Home added multi-cluster HA proxy Zigbee support through ESP32 C6s, and now we can have a highly available Zigbee. And we're gonna call it HAZ. So then we're gonna make an episode called HA HAZ. Yes. I don't know. We'll see. So thanks for joining. As I said, there will be at least a HA hardware video. I've already scripted most of that out. And maybe then the HA series will end for now. Maybe I'll make an episode in the future. I don't know yet. But I'm glad we finally got to it, because I've been teasing it for years, it feels like. But we went through all the primary setup right now. We did a lot of tests. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening and the weekend. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.